back, Dave?
5 minutes ago.
How'd you make out in the Capitol?
Bond issue looks good. Let's hope the voters pass it when it comes up. And dredging the river seems feasible. Barge shipping would make a city of us in no time at all. How about a sandwich? I drove straight through, and I'm ready to eat raw dog.
Thanks, I've got beef waiting at home, but don't mind me.
Tully grinned. Come into the kitchen. You can mix me a drink while I roust a Nature Boy's special out of the refrigerator. Tully let Julian precede him to the kitchen. He clicked coffee onto heat and went about loading 2 slices of bread with cold cuts and cheese. Julian Smith's look bothered him. You want me to explain, Julian?
Eat your sandwich, the detective said.
I get the impression it can't wait.
Tully stared at him. Smith watched a sparrow delouse itself on a twig outside the kitchen window. When the bird fluttered and disappeared, blending into the shadows stealing in from the east side of the house, he said. As a matter of fact, Dave, it can't.
Business?
Smith nodded. Dave Tully set the sandwich down on the work area beside the sink.
Your department is homicide, Julian.
Somebody get himself killed? Yes.
Well, who?
A man named Crandall Cox. The cranny is short for Crandall.
Tully's broad shoulders loosened and he laughed. You had me going there for a second.
Did I? The detective said.
Well, after all, man hasn't seen his wife in 3 days, and when he gets home, there's this character from the Mayhem Bureau with an official look on his puss. Tully picked up the sandwich and took a man-sized bite.
The name mean anything to you, Dave?
Crandall Cox? Never heard of him. So why the detour on your way home? Of course, we're always glad to have you.
He spoke as if Ruth were standing there in the kitchen with him.
Always we, Julian Smith thought. The house had been built for Ruth. Tully was the kind of man who built for the joy of building, and perhaps for that reason he had made a great deal of money out of the heights. But this house had been a special labor of love.
Ruth's a little late, isn't she, Dave?
Tully glanced at the kitchen clock. She didn't expect me. Probably getting in a positively the last rubber of bridge with 3 other business widows.
She usually goes on these trips with you, Dave. Why didn't she go this time?
Dave Tully studied the homicide man's face with care, and then he set the remains of his sandwich down. You better stop making like a detective, Julian, and tell me what this is all about, in words of 1 syllable. Smith reached into a pocket and brought out something wrapped in white cloth. He unwrapped it cautiously. It was a small revolver.
This is your gun, Dave.
Tully stared and stared at it. It is? He said stupidly.
You bought and registered it when you moved up here.
Well, sure. You know perfectly well why. This was the first house I'd finished in the development, and we were pretty much alone up here for a while. I couldn't have Ruth. He stopped and swallowed. He was angry at the policeman, angry at his own dry mouth and panicky thoughts. For God's sake, Julian, how'd you get hold of my gun? And what's it got to do with this man Cox, whoever he is? What are you trying to tell me?
That it killed him, Smith said. We fished it out of a sewer near the motel where his body was found.
For some reason, Tully found himself groping for the half-eaten sandwich. When he realized what he was doing, he pulled his hand back and gripped the smooth, cold edge of the kitchen sink. What the bloody hell, Julian, are you talking about?
I'm sorry, Dave. We've got a pickup on her.
Pickup on whom?
Your wife.
Ruth? Tully's mouth remained open. On Ruth?
I'm sorry,
the detective said again. He pushed away from the window.